Alright, there will surely be a question on the photocopy method, okay, because it's part of the syllabus for Sec 2, although we learn it in Sec 1. Now, when you see an expression like this made up of 1, 2, 3, 4 terms, take note that it most likely won't be able to use this, so you have to use this, okay? But having said that, there are questions, more difficult questions whereby you need to make use of a combination of these two to solve this kind of questions, okay, where it's made up of four things. But under normal circumstances, whenever you see a question with 1, 2, 3, 4 terms, you try and use the photocopy method first. Most of the time it will work, but if the paper is a bit tougher, then it may require another method, which I'll show you later. Okay, now let's try and do this question first. Now if you remember, based on our strategy, okay, the first step is always to take out common factor. So we'll take a look. Is there any common factor across all these four terms? There is a common factor 2. Okay, so I take out 2 from each term. Take out 2 here, take out 2 here, take out 2 here. And make sure when you expand, you get back this same thing. Okay, now notice that I put square brackets here. Is to tell the examiner that I know there is 2 times this whole thing. Okay, now that you've taken out the 2, don't do anything to the 2, just leave it outside. The 2 has nothing to do with the terms inside anymore, so just leave it outside. Next, you try and take out the common factor for the first 2 terms. I can take out 4 from the number. I can take out P, okay, from the algebra. And what I'm left with is 2Q plus 5N, okay? You are trying to figure this out yourself. Then I photocopy 2Q plus 5N here. And I try to get these 2 other terms, alright? Now what times 2Q will give me, can't give me this, right? What times 2Q will give me this? It has to be a minus 3. Minus 3 times 2 is minus 6. Q is just Q, right? Now double check. Minus 3 times 5, does it give me minus 15? Yes. N, there's an N here. Okay, so this times this give me this times this give me this. Okay, I'm done. Alright, I've successfully photocopied and factorized the terms out already. Now what do I do next? The 2, I leave it as it is. I take out this common term here, 2Q minus 5N. Take it out. Okay, take it out. And what I'm left with is 4P minus 3Q. Oh, sorry, 4P minus 3. That's all right. Close the bracket. Okay, that's your answer. Any more things to factorize? No more. So this is the final answer. Now for those of you who are more familiar with the way we did it last year, we didn't take out common factor. Okay, I didn't emphasize it last year. Alright, doesn't matter. If you're more familiar with just straight away taking out common factor from here, that's fine also, okay? So if you take out 8P straight away, you didn't take out the common factor 2, is fine also. Take out, and then you photocopy, put here. Minus 6 times this is this. Minus 6 times this is this, okay? So after that, you take out this common factor, put here. You are left with 8P minus 6. 8P minus 6. Now, important thing here is, you need to know that you need to fully factorize the whole expression. So 8 and 6, you can take out 2, right? Now take out 2, you're left with 4. Take out 2, you're left with 3. That's why this is the final answer. Okay, compare it with the method just now, you will find that the answers are exactly the same. Okay, so I leave it to you whichever method you're more comfortable with. Some of you might be more comfortable with this one, okay, because we've been doing this since last year. But remember, after factorization, always check that it's fully factorized. Now the danger of using this method is, I'm afraid some of you, if you forget to put this big bracket, then you will have problem, okay? Then you will have problem because it will just turn out to be 2 times this. Okay, this whole thing minus this whole thing, then it's wrong already. It should be 2 times this whole thing inside. Alright, So be very careful when you use this method. Remember your big square brackets outside. Okay? Now, we go on to the last question for factorization. What if you are given this? Now, if you try to use photocopy method, you will find that it doesn't work. Okay, no matter how hard you try to take out common factor for this, cannot. Then you rearrange, you rearrange. Then you find that, okay, I can take out P. Then I photocopy this. You see, it doesn't match. It doesn't, no matter what you write here, it doesn't match. Yeah. Okay, so it doesn't work, which means that this is a harder question. Okay, so if photocopy method fails, it means that it's a harder question. You have to be able to see that this one here is alone. Okay, and then if I were to take out the minus from here, minus from here, minus from here, I will end up with p square minus 4pq plus 4q square. Okay, double check, this time this is this time this is this time this is this, right? Okay, why do I want to rewrite like that? Because when I factorize this using the method we discussed earlier, the calculator method, I will end up with this. Okay, and can you see that it's actually difference of two squares? This square, one square is 1, right? Minus this square. Okay? Yeah, so there's a difference of two squares here, and then there is a calculator method here. Okay, now how do I continue from here on? This one is just 1 here, then p minus 2q, put bracket, it's just p minus 2q here, p minus 2q here. One of them is a plus, one of them is a minus. Don't leave your answer like that, because you need to simplify. Okay, open up this bracket inside, open up this bracket inside, and this is the final answer. So this is the toughest kind of question they can give you. Alright, under normal circumstances, just apply the photocopy method if you see 4 terms. If it fails, then you try a combination of calculator method with the difference of two squares. Okay, thank you.